I'm Sumi Somaskanda. Thank you for joining us. Across Europe, people are commemorating 75 years since the end of World War II. On May 8th, 1945, Nazi Germany gave its unconditional surrender to the Allies. Many large-scale events to commemorate the anniversary had been planned, but they were scaled down due to the pandemic. In Berlin, German Chancellor Angela Merkel and President Frank-Walter Steinmeier laid wreaths at Germany's main memorial to victims of war and dictatorship. In a solemn ceremony afterwards, Steinmeier said Germans feel gratitude for the end of the Nazi dictatorship. The city of Berlin has made May 8th a one-off public holiday just this year. Let's bring in our correspondent, Simon Young. He's covering this anniversary for us here in Berlin. He's standing just where the ceremony took place a little earlier. Hi, Simon. We heard that the commemorations have been scaled back, of course, because of the pandemic. How did it affect the ceremony?
Well, Sumi, originally the German authorities, the German president, were hoping to hold a major state ceremony here with 1,600 invited guests from Germany and abroad, dignitaries and people from political life and so on, to mark this solemn occasion. It's a level of protocol that is very rarely done here in Germany. The last time it was done on the 8th of May to mark the end of World War II was back in 1995 for the 50th anniversary. So it was hoped to repeat that and to show that Germany is still very much understands the lessons of history, if you like, and to send that signal around the world. But of course, the corona pandemic meant that that couldn't happen. This whole area was pretty much cordoned off. A few Berliners who turned out really weren't able to get very close and were rather disappointed. And that ceremony itself pretty much scaled back to the 5 wreaths being laid by the 5 heads of the state institutions, including, of course, the German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier and Chancellor Merkel herself, and then Steinmeier's speech, which I thought was very moving and important message, drawing together the lessons of 1945 and what it means for the world today.
Yes, Simon, we're going to hear some of the words from the German president in a moment, but tell us more about your main takeaways from the speech that he delivered.
Yeah, he said that, we would have liked to have welcomed representatives of the Allies that liberated Germany from Nazi tyranny, and also to have marked this day with Germany's old and with Germany's young, who, of course, will have differing perspectives on exactly what it means for them. But he said that that would have been so important to do. And because of the coronavirus, people have been isolated in recent weeks, he said, and that's a sort of an echo of the isolation of Germany, the isolation that Germany brought on itself during the 12 years of Nazi dictatorship and war. And he said, well, now is an opportunity to sort of feel that again. Germany now, of course, is very much far from isolated. I thought that was a strong message. He also said that although we talk about liberation, we must not stop learning the lessons of history. The idea of liberation has to be constantly reimagined by each new generation in Germany for people to understand how the country went down a terribly wrong path, but also how it has found its way back into the community of nations by facing up to its history and acknowledging the crimes of the past.
All right, Simon Young reporting for us from central Berlin. Thank you, Simon.